Lilo, submerging him and his evil. Yet still, he's... Collect 10 nights, get 1 reward night, and feel like a winner with Hotels.com.
Excludes package bookings. Eligible hotels only. Reward night worth average price of previous 10 taxes and fees payable. 18 plus. See website for T's and C's.
Witchton Wolf here. And there goes another new kid with his shiny new van. You'd bet that chump's the only one getting the special treatment. Well, that's where you're wrong, wise guy. With Direct Line, tradesmen can get 10% off their van insurance when they already have tradesman cover, whether they're new to the game like Hot Wheels over there or a loyal customer, like you. And I like guys like you.
10% multi-product discount with Direct Line for Business. Can your business insurance do that? Minimum premiums apply. Introductory discount. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Drivers, this should raise a smile. When you're out driving this winter, it's important to know that you can trust your tyres and brakes to keep you safe. That's why at Kwik Fit, we'll check them both for free. For peace of mind, book online or head down to your local Kwik Fit today and drive away happy, whatever the weather.
Snow Patrol. With special guests. Codaline, February 2nd, the SSE Arena.
Book now at radiox.co.uk.
Snow Patrol, live in London.
Radio X. Check before you travel. Go to radiox.co.uk.
Skeletor saved 15% off legal and general home insurance, and now he feels like the whole world is queuing for his autograph. Like his life is a standing ovation that will never end. Like he could light up the sky with a flame. Get 15% off legal and general home insurance. Another epic deal. Exclusively from Money's Supermarket. Offer ends January 31st. Offer excludes customers who've held a legal and general home insurance policy in the previous 12 months. Minimum premium applies. See moneysupermarket.com/deals for full T's and C's.
Radio X.
The Chris Miles Show. Why not tweet the show? Tweet us at Radio X. Thank you, please. Radio X.
It is 8:36. Paul Mckenna, we're just waiting for him to come into the studio. He might be able to convince you that you're a chicken, but he's not good at time management. And I tell you,
yeah,
here he is. Oh, here he is. Now here he is. Look.
Here he comes.
Into the studio, Paul McKenna.
Come on in, take your seat. Sit right down behind that microphone. Let me hear your dulcet tones.
Hello, babe. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? You win the bet, Dom.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Tom of the world.
Dominic said the first thing you'll do when you get behind the mic is, rather than sit back, you'll go right up close.
Yeah, well, I love it because it's nice and compressed.
There you go.
Makes me sound very butch.
It does, actually. It does.
Yeah, if only I sounded like that in real life.
We haven't got long with you today, which is a shame. But so I'd love you to come back when you're not doing a day of interviews. Just come back when you've got time.
Do you know, I would love to. I love to.
And by the way, you're full of it, you.
Yeah.
Right? Paul McKenna, he can help you stop smoking. He can cure your fear of flying.
Yeah,
he can stop
absolutely.
you eating crisps.
Yeah.
Whatever, it give you confidence and all that, right? But he's full of it.
Why?
Last time he was on the show, he's like, "Oh, great to see you. Listen, we've got to hang out more. We've got to hang out." Nothing apart from every time he's in the building, he draws a rude picture on a piece of paper and leaves it on my desk.
And you've done that recently, haven't you? I think a couple of days ago.
Yeah, do you know, I don't know what it is. It's like a sort of, I've got a very childish sense of humour.
Yeah.
And I'm walking past your desk and I just can't help myself. It's like literally, I maybe need to do something on myself for that. I can't help but draw the you-know-what.
Yeah.
And like you do when you're a kid. And leave it on your desk.
We were saying, "Oh, we'll hang out." And he goes, "I'm here for a bit now because you've been living in LA for a long time." And he goes, "I'm here for a bit. We'll hang out. We'll have we'll go for dinner. We'll have nothing."
Really? You know why? It's the trauma of years ago. I remember leaving a message on your answering service, on your voicemail, saying, "Chris, I'm having a party. Would you like to come?" And of course, you know, because you have a crew of people, I said, "And you can bring some friends." And then you played this on the air.
Oh, no, I didn't.
And you went, "What do you mean, bring some friends? Is it some sort of swingers thing?" So two things happened. All the people I hadn't invited that I knew were like, "Why, are you having a party? Why haven't you invited me?"
No.
And then secondly, people going, Hey, bring some friends. I kept getting that all week.
Wow.
And so,
sorry.
Yeah, my life was kind of ruined.
You've never left me. You've never rung me since. That's why. Well, I apologise.
I will be ringing you. I would love to socialise. In fact, I might. There's something else I want to ask you as well.
Oh yeah, are you having another party?
No.
Hey, everyone listening who's ever met Paul. Now, let me talk about your podcast. But let's go straight in. I can't help myself.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I might not play your voicemail messages anymore, but we've got to discuss this.
Go on.
The voice.
Yeah.
Your voice.
Yeah.
Right. So you were a radio DJ. You were a radio guy for a long, long time.
Yep.
And very good at it.
Thank you.
Got all the way, what's the legendary Capital? Where I was saying this morning before you got here, Kenny Everett took you under his wing and
he did.
mentored you, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You got a job at Radio 1 and then you went, nah, do you know what? You made that mistake and you jacked in radio so you could go and do your hocus pocus stuff. And look at you now, billions of dollars later. What a fool you were.
Exactly.
You could have been on well, I won't say it. But anyway. But it's the voice, right?
Yeah.
Because I've hung out with you socially. Last time properly we were in LA together and we went for a lovely lunch.
Yeah.
You went to your home and we had a lovely time.
Yeah.
And Paul and I sitting there and we were having a chat about life and relationships and radio and living in LA and all that. It was all very normal. And then you download Paul's podcast.
Yeah.
And it starts like this.
Hello, this is Paul Mckenna, and welcome to the Positivity Podcast.
Yes.
My objective is to interview the most interesting people in the world.
Amazing.
And in the next 30 minutes, get insights and even discover how it is that they do what they do, what makes them unique and fascinating, their success mindset, and certainly what keeps them positive.
Oh my God. Okay, so you've got me hooked in. I'm already listening to the great voiceover voice of Paul Mckenna, and the music is getting me all fired up. I am in like you would not believe. And then it goes.
I'm talking with Simon Cowell.
Hello, Simon. Talking with Simon Cowell. Simon, when you what do you do about positive thinking?
It's all over the place.
It's like two different people.
It's like a roller coaster, Paul.
That's because it's a conversational sort of interview. It's not a journalistic one. But the intro. I want to announce this is the Positivity Podcast. And then it's much more, how do you do what you do? How do I get to discover your success mindset? Yeah. So some of that's more conversational, So you're right, there is a contrast.
It's more of an intimate tone, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, that's one of the things that podcasts give us, because it's not really talk radio. It's sort of a hybrid of talk radio and audiobook podcasts are. And actually, most people that listen to podcasts do it whilst they're doing something else, while they're working out, or driving, or cooking, or something. And so, it has that sort of I don't know. You should feel like you're a fly on the wall listening to two people talking. That's the view.
And I did, and I listened to it. I've listened to episode 1, which is you interviewing Simon Cowell.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Well, I'll discuss it in a second. The second one is Warwick Davis. The third one is Gary Lineker.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you say to these people, "Hey,
Simon, I would love you to do my podcast."
And Simon goes, do you know what? To be fair, I'm really busy, Paul. And you go, "You want to do my podcast?" And Simon Cowell goes, "Although I do want to do it, let's do it."
I do want to do your podcast.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
you can
exactly
get anyone
how it
in
goes.
the world to do it now.
Well, yeah, more or less. No, some resist, and I have to use more evil to
the blackmail, the photos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I get there. But it's I'm surprised actually by the people's response. Because pretty much everyone I've asked has gone, yeah, I'll do it, and obviously some of these people I know very well, some of them I don't. But it's a really wonderful thing. I never really lost my love for radio, as you mentioned. I mean, even when I come in, I'm looking at your desk, the kit, all the different sort of technology of the radio station, and so this is a chance to be on the radio in a sense. It's just wonderful, and also meet or hang out again with people that I really like and ask them stuff. So the other thing as well is, at the end of that Simon Cowell interview, Simon's publicist said, I've never heard him say half that stuff. I said, I've known him 20 years and I never heard it either. And it's amazing.
And you know what? And I don't know if he should have been saying half the stuff that he says.
What do you mean?
I listened to it. Mm-hmm. And it's the idea behind it is positive. It's Paul Mckenna's Positivity Podcast, right?
Yeah.
how being positive can help you. How has it helped certain people? What positive thinking did these people use in their careers and their lives and all of that?
And also their struggles. Sometimes how it all went wrong and how they came back from it. That's the.
You should edit that out. That's negative. That's not positive, Paul.
Negativity
That's
podcast.
negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
On today's show, we speak to a man who's been out of work for 4 years. Are you positive? Not bloody really, Paul, no. On next week's podcast. So I want to play you a little bit of... you've known Simon Cowell a long time, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is he a bit of a divvy?
Do you know, he's actually a really good bloke. He's probably the most loyal person I've ever met. He's a very clear thinker. He's very candid. If you ask him a question, he'll tell you exactly what he thinks. And he's actually incredibly generous. He's always doing things for other people. He does so much for charity. I mean, I think he's a really brilliant person, actually.
Did you damage his car or something? Why are you being so nice? Right.
No, that's genuinely what I think of him.
Let me play you this. This is from your interview with Simon Cowell, right? So it's the Positivity Podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
I had all my team over from England.
So he's talking about, Paul asks about coming up with ideas and being creative, okay?
Yeah.
And this is what Simon says.
I had all my team over from England and America. We sat for 3 days. I listened to all their ideas. That stimulates another conversation. It leads to something else.
So he's talking about how he comes up with ideas, which is a good idea. Get all your creative people in together, just sit and throw ideas around. Great way to come up with an idea, because he's come up with a lot of good ideas.
Or we see a competing show and we think, okay, we'll take a bit of that show, put it into our show, and never panic.
Well, hang on. Tell me again, what was that last bit, Simon?
Or we see a competing show and we think, okay, we'll take a bit of that show, put it into our show.
Okay, so the two ways of coming up with ideas: one, we have a big brainstorm, and two, we see what someone else has done, and we have that, and we put that in our show. Okay, all right, let's continue.
And never panic. Like I always say, I don't think you should always chase an idea.
No.
It should come to you.
No, it didn't come to you. It came to somebody else. You just bloody nicked it, Simon.
I think what he's saying is pretty
positive.
much...
That thieving is positive.
It's all derivative now, isn't it? I mean, if you look at basically any television, radio, any sort of media, it's all, or music, it's all derivative, isn't it? I mean, in my mind, it is.
You know what I like to do is I like to copy everybody else's ideas.
Nick the best
I like
bits.
to claim that I did it first.
Yeah.
And I'm very good at that, and it normally works. Plus, I'm so rich. See you in court. Good luck. So has it been fun doing these interviews?
Do you know, Chris? It's been it's enormously fun, and I like talking to people anyway. I talk to people as a therapist. I sit one-to-one. I've been doing it for decades, and I'm intrigued by people. Plus, the other thing is, people tend to. I don't know why this is, but ever since I've known, people sit down. They just chat to me about everything, and very often say, "I don't know. I don't normally open up like this. I hope you don't mind."
That's good. That's a compliment to you, isn't it?
Well, I think so. It's certainly not. Sometimes it can feel a bit like a burden, but mostly it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be sitting on a park bench and someone suddenly opens up about their life to me. So
sorry, that was me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, and it's all going to be okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
It is positive. Positivity.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Yeah. Mind you, Chris, I was going to ask you. I would love you to guest on the.
Yeah, not a chance.
Oh, that would be
why?
hard.
Not a
That'd
chance.
be brilliant.
Well, why is that?
I'll do your negativity podcast. I'll be guest number one for that.
But you are glass half full.
Chris, how are you today? I'll tell you how I bloody am, Paul. This country, these people, what a mess. And I'll tell you why, and then we'll get stuck into it.
Well, you see, yeah, I kind of like that.
You're generally a pretty positive person.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Underneath it all.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I am a very glass half full type
Yeah,
person.
I think so. I think you should do it. Why not? It'd be great.
I did the TV show Who Do You Think You Are, and we were filming about my family, and there was like 111 of them that lived in one room of a house, and the room next door had 100 people in it, and they had one toilet for like 3 houses at the end of the street, and all of that, and blah blah. And it's all very grim. And I went, oh. But they got out of this though, didn't they? They obviously got out. My great grandmother got out of this, and then ended up, having her own family and blah 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 blah. And they said, yeah, and we'll take you to where she lived. And the camera guy goes, you're quite a positive person, aren't you? And I went, what do you mean? He goes, because you looked at that something really grim, and you just went, yeah, but she got out and all that, and blah, blah. And I went, yeah, I guess. Although it is raining, can we go inside now because it's damaging my makeup? So you can be positive and a diva at the same time.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So who we got to look forward to? So there's 3 podcasts out already now.
It's 4 now.
4. So it's Simon, Warwick Davis, Gary Lineker.
And Ryan Seacrest this week.
Oh, look at
wow.
you! You've got some dirt on these people, haven't you? You've got some secrets. What is it? Do they all come and have sessions with you? You secretly take them and you go to Ryan. You know what you came to see me about? You don't want that getting out there, do you, Ryan, my darling? Let's do an interview for my podcast.
I bet he was fascinating, wasn't he, Ryan Seacrest?
He is. I mean, he's like the hardest working man in show business, and he's relentlessly positive. He's a very interesting guy. You know, when he was a kid, his father, who's a corporate lawyer, would sit there with a speakerphone, and basically he'd sit there with a notepad, and as he's doing a business call, he has to make notes, and his father says, "Okay, do you see the point where this happened, where that happened, etc." And that's where he sort of learned the business acumen from. But also, he, like all people who are exceptionally good at something, doesn't realise, thinks it's just naturally well, doesn't everyone do that? You know, he's so spectacularly talented as a television presenter and radio broadcaster. You know, I mean, he looks at the audio cue, glances at it, does something else. He's amazing.
Yeah. He was another radio guy, wasn't he? He started in radio.
He started in radio. In fact, he still does do a radio show. He does one of the holy grails of radio is the Kiss FM in Los Angeles breakfast show. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that, though, can't we? If we
put our mind to it. You're one of the holy grails here at radio. This is the
Holy Grail. Me and Johnny are keeping this place afloat. Let's be honest.
It's so cool. Everyone I know is cool, so they listen to you.
The what?
But everyone I know is cool, so Radio X is where it's at.
That's right, Paul. That's right.
It is.
That's good.
Yeah.
Paul Mckenna's Positivity podcast is out now. And here's the easiest thing about this. Yeah. If you've got the Radio X app, you can now play the podcast from the app.
Yeah, that's clever, isn't it?
And when you go to podcasts, it should be the first thing that pops up. If not, just search Paul Mckenna and it will pop up. And you can download them onto your phone and then you can listen to them offline whenever you like, which is exactly what I did the other week. I downloaded it, listened to it on the way home. Jobs are good.
Yeah.
You were in my ears all the way home.
So do I really speak like that?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay. Is it... Go on. Hello, this is Paul Mckenna.
Hello, nice to meet you. Hello, barman. I would be delighted if you would give me 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please.
So you're back here now. Are you here from?
I'm living back here, Chris.
Right.
I will be calling.
Let's
hang
out.
No, do you know, I would love that.
Yeah.
It was lovely when we last hung out. That was like a year or 2 years
12
ago.
years ago.
God, was it?
12 years.
And if you want, you can bring some friends.
Oh, I would love that. Well, I would love, and I've got just the friends in mind that I think you'll love.
Yeah. We've come full circle, if you will.
Well, you know, that's one of the games we can play. But Paul Mckenna's Positivity Podcast, you can get it on the Radio X app. You can download it right now as you listen to us and then listen to it later. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Paul.
God bless. Lovely to see you all.
Let's hit the vocal. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Paul Mckenna.
Thank you.
Shut the bedroom window in the morning. Go to the shop, make plans to be leaving in the morning. Thought I was sleeping, it was just a dream. An alley cat chewing on